Hello and welcome to Paper Plays Julie K.
Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for stopping by to check out my latest video. And today I'm here to share with you kind of a final walkthrough or flip through of this gorgeous little journal that I created. This is a vintage grungy style journal, and I do have, if this is your first time checking my channel out, I do have a complete video series on this. This month I have been working on this journal start to finish, so I did record all of my steps. So if you want to see all of the different steps and also a lot more detail and a little bit more talking as far as all the digitals that I use and the different supplies I used, you can find all that information in the video series, which I for sure will link below in the description box. And I did start off with an Amazon packaging envelope that I covered with material and laces. And on the front, I have this fun little vintage pocket that I created with some vintage doily. I layered up some different pieces from my stash on there. I do have this fun little tassel, which I also have a video on that in this series on how we created that. Inside the pocket, I do have some fun little ephemera pieces, a little postcard. I did do a lot of stamping. Also, this is a vintage photograph that I included. There's kind of some fun faux vintage ephemera, like this one is a digital that I made look old. So that's in the pocket. And there are a lot of different vintage laces and trims in here. Some different crocheted ones, like this one came off of a pillowcase. This is some vintage Parisian lace. Also some more vintage lace down here. So lots of vintage lace. In this journal, I also used up a lot of snippets from my stash. Also leftover pieces and parts left over from past digital collections from past journals that I created. On the inside, I do have some fun pockets on both sides. And this also was created with some crocheted, a piece of crocheted, and I think it came from a pillowcase, a longer piece that came off of a pillowcase, but I'm not 100% sure because it was connected like it would have been cut off of a pillowcase. But I did create a pocket out of that, which I like how that turned out. And on all of my like journal cards and ephemera, I do like to add some stamping or tea-dyed paper to it. I also have some stenciling. A lot of the items I did sew around. And then little things like this are just little leftover pieces and parts from past projects. So it was kind of a fun little journal to put together that I got to use up all sorts of leftover bits from my stash to create. There's like here, this is a little poem or a sonnet. Also, I use a lot of like junk that I created into ephemera. Like this tag started off as a bathroom rug tag. And so I made it into a little journaling card. I will link all of the different digital companies that I use down below, just in case you are interested in checking them out. And of course, in each of the videos that I talked about where the different pieces and parts came from as I was creating the journal. Some different stamped images that I made into ephemera to write on. I know I like to heavily decorate my journals, but I also try to include lots of things that you can journal on, whether it's tags or like this envelope I left pretty plain, but it is decorated that you can journal on both sides of that. And then I covered it with this little tag here. But it was a fun little journal to create, you know, some ledger paper, some smaller pieces of ephemera. There's kind of a little tuck spot there, kind of a double tuck spot, because I can tuck a tag back there and then also right there. You know, some actual vintage ephemera. This was from an old book that I had that had handwriting in it. It's in another language, so I don't know what it says. Some different tags. Again, I try and stamp on most of my stuff or stencil. some older music paper, some rubber stamps, and the rubber stamps that I used in here, like some of these are tailor-made journals. I have some of Lorna's stamps in here, but also Sam Poole has some nice stamps out there too. And so some of them are also hers that I used. There's digital paper, there's scrapbooking paper in here, music paper. Here's a fun little pocket that started off as an oatmeal packet that obviously got heavily decorated that you wouldn't even know it's an oatmeal packet. And I stuck some fun things in the pocket there. And then there's also an extra little tuck spot with the lace right here for a small little piece of ephemera. A page from a German book that's vintage and old. That says antiques on the back of that one. You know, one of the main papers that I did use was from Jennifer A Trace of Sparkle. I did use a lot of her paper. Also, the line paper is from Debbie Ann at Ephemera's Vintage Garden. But then all the little ephemera pieces, a lot of it's just leftover bits and pieces from, you know, past journals and different things that I've made. But I thought it was kind of a fun little series. I think for me, it's the first time I've ever actually created a whole journal on camera from start to finish. Or it might have been my second time. I think I might have a December daily that I did quite a while ago with Tsunami Rose when I was on her design team. But I do have, you know, all sorts of fun stuff. This one ended up only being one signature, but it was a very fat signature. This is a page topper that does come off. And a little pocket here that I've included underneath there. And I had some more digital paper that I added to that. And then besides being kind of a little pocket, you can also have a tuck spot behind there too for a couple of things. Little hidden paper clip right here. And I stuck a couple of tags on there. And on the back side, another little journal card or tag, whatever you want to call it. Then here's a little tuck spot with some ephemera in it. Little belly band. And a pocket back here from, you know, leftover remnant of a doily. And then a little, that's Lorna Taylor from her Victorian images that I had made paper dolls out of. I had that left over. And this is just a tag. I thought maybe I had it as a tuck spot, but it's just a tag. It's sometimes I can't remember what I did on everything, but that looks, I think, kind of fun sitting in the pocket. Another little tuck spot with a tag. Another bottom tuck spot with a tag. Then here's the back side of the envelope. So I left that one again pretty neutral that you could journal on it. And then this side was kind of fun because it was a window envelope type envelope, and so you can pull this out. And I have some fun photographs and then another spot on the back where you can journal. And for me, this one was kind of fun. And then also one of the other photographs in here was fun. There were pictures that came from my grandma's scrapbook. And the other one that came from her scrapbook was this one right here, which was probably my favorite tag or thing that I did in the journal. This one says, "How sweet are your words?" And it must have been someone that my grandma knew, because it's not my grandma, but someone that my grandma knew sitting on the car. So that was kind of a fun little tag that I thought when I created that one. just because they did come from I took them out of my grandma's scrapbook. When my grandma passed away, my mom took out all the photographs that were of relatives and kind of dispersed them, like to all of her cousins. But then there was a lot of photos in there that she had no clue who they were, so she gave them to me to use in my scrapbook. Or scrapbooks, but in junk journals. And then also another little scrappy notepad that I created. So that is the cute little journal that I created. I know I had a lot of fun when I did the video series. Again, I think it was one of the, the only second time that I had created a whole journal start to finish on camera. This one was definitely more involved than the little December daily I did. But it was a lot of fun. So if you haven't checked it out and you are interested in kind of watching a video from start to finish on how to create a journal, I would recommend watching this series. But again, I really love how this one turned out, and I of course want to thank everybody that watched my little walkthrough today. Thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day and happy crafting.